How you doing, folks? Here's a great little interview with a teacher who loves to teach about guitars.
Okay, my name is Robin Jackson, and I teach guitar, 99.9% classical guitar, and I use the Suzuki method with younger folks and kind of a blend of Suzuki and the Shearer method with adults. I have students that range in age right now, probably from about 6 years old to mid-70s, I think. Yeah, my dad is a guitarist. He's still a beautiful guitarist, so they were lying around, and so I absorbed a lot from him. My grandfather was a pianist, both classical and jazz. He had worked in the Vaughn Monroe Orchestra. It's where he met my grandma. She was a vocalist for the Vaughn Monroe Orchestra. So yeah, music, 3 generations. Well, and my kids are doing it, so I guess we're on to the 4th. The Suzuki method, Dr. Suzuki, Japanese man in post-World War II Japan, so you can imagine devastation from the war, but then a surging of hope and renaissance of beauty, and really that's what he dedicated his life to. So he had an epiphany that all children could learn to play music beautifully, that it didn't require being born with a certain level of talent or a patron to provide you with this education. It was really about the environment, and because music was a language, any child that could learn their own native language could learn the language of music. So his method that he developed sort of mirrors the way we learn language. We first hear it, we hear our mothers speak, and we start with a few words, then we're kind of placing those into sentences, and our oral vocabulary precedes our ability to read by several years. In his method for music, it was all modeling. And he taught technique immediately. You could start with children as young as 3. A parent needs to be part of the lesson so that you have what is called the Suzuki triangle, where it's truly relational, so that the parent can be the practice coach at home and be present and an active member of the cultivation of the musical development of the child. So very different than a traditional lesson where it's like, go practice your guitar. I'm not going to pay for these lessons if you're not practicing. The mom or the dad sits down with the child and is in the role of the teacher in the home. And it teaches all kinds of wonderful character traits, perseverance, self-acceptance. Children really learn how they learn in this process, so that they learn patience with themselves, but they also know how to push through methodically and problem solve. A lot of times it's just creating the muscle memory and doing a certain number of repetitions of a passage to learn that new technique or that new piece of music, and the curriculum is graded. And so every student that goes through the Suzuki method does the same songs in the same order and learn the same skills. It's kind of like a martial art because it's highly structured, but then there's so much freedom within the structure for your very personal development. So right now there's about 250,000 children around the world learning to play an instrument this way. Started with violin, obviously. He was a violinist and a violin teacher, but different music teachers around the world have created a curriculum for other instruments. You could play Suzuki cello, Suzuki guitar, Suzuki flute, Suzuki piano. Music reading is delayed. It's really about, hearing and modeling first, like we learn our language. Rather than it being about everything that I know about guitar, it's how can I bring my student forward using this graded curriculum and this philosophy? And whether or not they become musicians or not, Dr. Suzuki was convinced they'd become good citizens because all those traits can be applied to any pursuit.
And how can people find you?
Email right now is the best, robinjacksonguitar@gmail.com, 541-279-7851. My name is Robin Jackson. My business, Robin Jackson Guitar. Email robinjacksonguitar@gmail.com. Phone number 541-279-7851. And I also do virtual lessons anywhere in the United States.